Before I get started on my list, I do want to say that you may love the trends that I am getting ready to mention. Some of them are very popular. Some of them have been around for years. Some of them are popular with boomers and people my age. And then there's quite a few that the millennials and the Gen Z gravitate toward. I do want to say that there is no judgment here. I like watching these types of videos, so I thought it would be kind of fun for me to share my list as well. I do want to apologize if you hear some squeaking or some jingling in the background. Benji is right in the floor beside of me, and he's wound up tonight, so he's playing with all of his toys. And I want to mention one other thing. At the end of this video, I'm also going to share 3 popular modern day trends that I do love. So make sure to stick around for that as well. But first, let's get to the ones that I don't. Okay, first one on the list is TikTok. I've never loaded the app on my phone. I think I've watched a couple of TikToks that people have shared with me or whatever, but it's just never appealed to me. I like watching longer form videos, and YouTube seems to fulfill all of those needs, and YouTube does have shorts now. So, if I'm going to watch a short, it's going to be probably something humorous or like an animal video or whatever. So I get all I want from the YouTube shorts, and TikTok has just never appealed to me. I also don't really like the whole Chinese spying on me kind of thing. I'm sure I have other apps on my phone that are probably doing the same thing, but I don't know. TikTok just seems to be really publicized for that one thing, being Chinese owned. So no, don't get behind that one. Okay, number 2 is the trend of making your bed every day as soon as you get up. And I know that in the productivity, circles, that is really popular, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment right off the bat. I get it, but I'm just not going to do it. That's something I have never cared about, having a bed that's made up. I am in my bedroom only to sleep. I never hardly spend any time in there throughout the day. I come in right at bedtime, so I'm not seeing a messy bed all day. So that's not something that bothers me. And I just fluff everything up before I get in it, and off to bed again I go. So it's just nothing that I felt I needed to do. Okay, number 3 is remove your TV from your bedroom. Now, I know several years ago there was a big push on removing all screens from your bedroom, that you should just make your bedroom very conducive to sleep, no television in there, and I just can't get behind that. I like to watch TV before I go to sleep every night, and it's just comforting to me. Now, I do know what not to watch. Now, I'm not going to watch, pumped up, drama type shows, or, something that's going to get me kind of fired up before bedtime. I'm more of a kind of sitcoms or history documentaries, that kind of thing. So I just like watching it. Sometimes I like setting the sleep timer on it. I like falling asleep to it. And if I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, sometimes I'll turn it on for a few minutes and doze off again. So that's another one that I cannot get behind. Okay, number 4 is the trend that everyone says you need $1 million in order to retire. And I've talked about this in other videos, and I'm going to link that video in the description box below if you'd like to check that out. But my feelings on this is that there is no one size fits all. for retirement. And I am just one person. It's just me. I do not need $1 million in order to retire. And, you know, I don't think a lot of other people do either. I think a lot of people can get by on half of that. I think even some others could get by on 20% of that amount. It just depends. And it depends on how you live, what your housing situation is. I mean, there are tons of factors. But you see that headline all the time, especially in finance, you know, circles. You know, everyone thinks we need 1 million to retire. I mean, I think it's now up to 1.8 million. And maybe that's for a couple, not just a single person, but still, I just think that number is way too high. Okay, number 5 is strict minimalism. Now, this one is another trend that has been around for a long time. And I will admit that it intrigues me very much. I subscribe to several creators on YouTube that talk about minimalism. I love the idea of it. I just can't live that way, at least not in this season of my life. It's just not anything I can that I can do. I do like to stay very organized. I do like to periodically declutter, but to do the whole minimalism you know, thing, that's just something I can't do. One of my favorites, though, I like to watch is Minimal Mom, and I always love when she shows her house, how neat and, you know, clean it looks and everything like that. But I'm just going to admire it in other people's lives for now. I can't do it. I just can't. Okay, number 6. And this one is going to be more of a general thing. I don't know about you, but it seems like every year there's a new supplement that we just have to have or we're going to die an early death. And, you know, whether it's electrolytes or protein powders or collagen or fish oil. And I'll admit, I got caught up into all of this for years. But I've decided I'm drawing the line on it, and I'm just not going to listen. It's going to be like, la 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 la. I found that none of these supplements are cheap, and secondly, there's no end date. You just keep taking them forever and ever, and then you add, you know, another one and another one, and also, I don't know, I kind of question the ingredients. I'm not sure I trust, you know, all the ingredients, whether or not they're clean or not in these products. So I've just decided no more. I take a magnesium supplement and a vitamin D, and that's it. Now, who's not to say that maybe one day I might regret that decision, but then again, maybe not. Okay, the 7th trend that I can't get behind is the au naturel, you know, movement, you know, no makeup, or the going gray with your hair trend. I know there's a current trend now that younger women aren't wearing makeup that much, you know, and it probably started happening, you know, back when we were wearing, you know, face masks during that time. And, you know, why put makeup on if you're going to cover up half of your face? And a lot of people were working from home anyway, so it's probably an outcropping of that era. But I'm a product of the 80s, so, you know, I like makeup, and, you know, I just can't get behind the whole au naturel thing. I know I look better with it on, and I think most other women do too. But like I said, this is no judgment. It's just something, I guess, coming from the 80s. And the same thing with the going gray. Yeah, I still color my hair. I mean, I don't think I have gray hair yet, but I just like coloring it, you know, to get a different color. And I'm not ready to stop that yet. So one day I probably will, but for now I'm still buying those boxes of Clairol hair color, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm not going gray today. Okay, number 8 is the neutral clothing and the neutral decor trend. And I've mentioned this in videos before too, but I mean, you go in a Target and everything to me just seems to be beige, light beige, dark beige, some whites, some tan, and it's that way in the decor and the clothing. And that's just what people, are into. But that's not me. Like I said, I'm a product of the 80s, and we loved color. We expressed ourselves with color in just about everything. So I guess that's just still stuck on me. I like black as well, so I just can't get behind the whole beige and neutral trend. And, so no, that one's not for me either. Okay, number 9 is to be self-employed through the gig economy or be a full-time entrepreneur. And I know that that is a trend now, that a lot of people, they're dissatisfied with just, working for the man, so to speak, so it's, there's a lot of jobs, especially younger people, that they can do in the gig economy and the sharing economy and that kind of thing, working on the internet, and then a lot of people have aspirations of being their own boss, owning their own business. That's not anything that's ever appealed to me. I like the job security of just having a traditional job, having a boss. I mean, yeah, sure. Do I like everything about it? No, but that's just my style. I just feel a little more secure having the benefits and knowing I'm having a regular paycheck and knowing how much that paycheck is probably going to be, that kind of thing. That just fits my personality better. Now, of course, I am here on YouTube, but I am not trying to do this full time. This is not something, I'm doing this because I wanted to do this. I'm in my late 50s. It's something that I felt would be a great challenge and adventure for me. It's not something I'm trying to do a full-time, make a full-time income from doing. And sometimes I just want to be told what to do rather than be responsible for every aspect of my livelihood. And, and another thing too is I get to leave my work at work most of the time. So it's not something that is all consuming. Okay, number 10 is having a Costco or Sam's Wholesale Club membership. I mean, buying in bulk just doesn't interest me. Now, if I want to buy anything in bulk, I can do that from Walmart. If I want to buy my paper goods in bulk or whatever, I don't need a membership to one of the wholesale clubs in order to do that. Now, of course, I see the appeal, especially with people with families, or if you want to have stockpile things, but to have too much inventory like that just kind of makes me nervous. It's kind of cluttery to me, and I get tired of things. There's no way I could buy a box of 48 granola bars. There's no way I'm going to finish those. I'm going to be so tired of them. Same with shampoo. I mean, in like gallon bottles. I mean, I'm going to be tired of that as well. I just don't, I don't want all of that. So now, if I were to walk through one of those stores, I'm sure I would find lots of things that would tempt me. So it's just best that I just don't go in them. Okay, number 11 is designer brands. I've just never been one to care about designer names. I think it's the frugal side of me, especially if I see I can buy 4 pair of jeans for the price of 1, it's just a no-brainer for me. I'm going to go for the jeans that I think look just as good for the lower price. I know that a lot of people like the quality that goes along with the designer name. But it's just not anything. I don't care what my purse says on it. I don't care what my jeans say. That's just nothing that I've ever cared about. So, okay, number 12 is large SUVs and big pickup trucks. Now, this could just be a southern thing because I live in Tennessee, but I don't know about where you live. but everywhere, all over the roads, everything is like huge, pickup trucks or the largest SUVs that you can get. And I like tiny cars. I just always have been that way. When I was younger, I had hatchbacks. I had two-door coupes. Right now, I drive a small crossover. It's one of the smallest ones they make, and I don't know. I just like that. I feel more comfortable in it. I can park it anywhere. I can maneuver it a lot easier. I like the gas mileage. So I just don't like the big vehicles, and it actually makes me a little nervous being in a small car, being surrounded by all of them, because I know in an accident which one's going to win. But I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, are they as popular in your area as they are in mine? Okay, that is my list. I would love to hear in the comments what you think. As I said earlier, everyone is unique. This is not a right or wrong list. Also, I'm not against all trends. There are a few that I actually get into, and I said I would share 3 of those. And the first one is the getting up at 5 a.m. every day trend. There's been for years a lot of people doing their morning routines, and they're, touting, get up at 5 a.m., you can get this done and all that. And I started trying that, and I do believe in that. Of course, I am a morning person. I do have a lot of energy when I wake up, so it works out for me. I like getting up at 5. The house is pretty quiet with the exception of Benji, because as soon as I'm up, he's up. But I can get things done. If I'm going to work out or, do anything like that, that's the time for me to do it. So I've been following that trend for many years now. Another trend that I like is the van life movement. And I subscribe to several YouTube channels that are related to that, because I don't know, I hope when I retire that I can buy a van and build it out like some of the ones I've seen in these videos. And I'd like to travel across the country in it for a few years, or however long, it suits me. So that is something that I am totally into. And the third one is a little similar, and that's the tiny house movement. And I will never forget when I started seeing these little tiny houses. I mean, gosh, it's probably, I don't know, been around 20 years now, but I love them. I think they're cute and adorable, and I hope that one day I will own one. I would love to live in one and see how it is. Now, that whole minimalism trend that I mentioned earlier that I couldn't get behind, I'd definitely have to rethink that one if I'm going to live in a tiny house. So I'll have to work on that. But those are just 3 trends that I do love and I do get into. So let me know the ones that you love as well. And I know that I didn't cover everything that's out there, so be sure to mention in the comments as well some of them that I may have forgotten. Now, I hope you found this video interesting today. If you did, I would love for you to hit the like button. I would also love for you to subscribe to my channel. Now, would you say that simplifying your life is a trend? Because there are a lot of videos out there on the topic. I've even done 2 of them myself, and I'm going to link those right here in case you haven't seen them yet. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for tuning in today, and I will see you in the next video.